Hello, welcome, ladies. New time, new faces on the Hangout. I love it. I love that we all have this chance to get together, and especially after yesterday, after the boot camp launched, and so many women have been connecting since then and digging deep, and having these amazing breakthroughs, crying, shedding tears. So it's really cool that we get to all come and share a little bit of our experiences, and also there were some fantastic questions, just like really good questions that we wanted to answer for you guys live. So make sure that you are plugged into the Facebook group as well, so that if you do have a question, there's also, I think there's a chat on the website if you're watching it there. Just make sure to reach out to us because we're live here, and we want to make sure that everybody has all the information that they need to move forward. We don't want any blocks, so we want to help you guys out with that. I got to introduce some of these awesome rock stars on the line. These ladies just like literally minutes ago, well, a few minutes ago, finished their assignment so that they could be here to speak on this panel and to share their insights and to tell their story. And so I definitely want to hear from them. And it's so fresh. Everything that they just did, the well-formed outcome. Lisa was just crying on a video, and it has just happened. So you're really getting the full energy of it. So Janie, your smile is drawing me straight to your face. So come on out here and tell us a little bit about you and your experience with the first the assignment that you had to do with your accountability partner.
Sure. It's not the first time that I do the well form outcome. And what's that really weird? It's like when we know that we need to do that, like we go before the hangout and like we write on paper some question in advance, and we really thought that like, okay, I'm gonna say that and I'm gonna say that, and then when the question come to you, it's like you finally be like yourself and really find deep inside of you the right answer to those questions. It's not like the fake one that you write on paper and stuff like that. It's really like going deep inside of you and in your art and really like find other response, and those are the real one, and those are the really the real purpose in you, and it's so powerful to go find in you even if you don't know it's there. So if I can say, like almost all my life, since like 14, I needed at some point to take care of my brother and sister because my mom passed away and my dad had to work really late. And since I do like the blogging and the marketing stuff, it's really like more centered on myself and what I want in my life. And what the well-formed outcome came to make me realize it was that yes, I want to live out of my blog and live out of this income coming out of my blog, but it's really like that I want that life that I choose every day, what I really want for myself, and not because of what everybody else need or think that I should do. It's really like what I want for myself every single day. And it's really like to go reach that happy life and that limitless and the powerful uh, like to be inspired to others to go reach their dream and go reach what they really want for themselves, and not only for the people around them, and to make everyone happy, but to be happy for yourself.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds like it's much bigger than a blog. It stretches really far, and having that opportunity to inspire others. I think that word came up in our well-formed outcome as well, is that ripple effect that you create by living a passionate life. And sharing these experiences. And you actually had a question that you wrote down in the question feed, and it said, how can I talk about my downs without looking like I'm complaining? I know people normally say only talk about our struggle if we manage to fix them. So I'm not sure if I should talk about those struggles that I'm living daily. So I wanted to really address that question because it's a really good one. Sometimes I think I can't remember what training it was where David Wood said, don't talk about your shit when you're in it. But what I want to really stress to you is that in order to get out of that shit, it is all just a mental decision. When you say fix it, fixing it is a state of mind. It is your perspective on what it is. Is it an opportunity for you to grow? Is it an opportunity for you to learn? And then when you make that conscious decision, you have had a breakthrough. So when you can talk about your struggles, even if they're still around you, and you've had a shift, you've had a breakthrough, and you now see it as an opportunity. You see it as a way for you to seize the moment and to grow into a leader and to develop yourself. That's something you can talk about. That's not complaining. That's not saying my life is shit. That is actually stepping into, I own my life. I make these decisions. I control everything. And so that question really stuck out to me, and I thought it was a really great question.
Thanks.
I'll also add that storytelling, of course, that was on Tactical Tuesday covered it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, he went over that really in good detail.
Alicia, we had such raving reviews over your awesomeness on the webinar, and that list is like forever a resource for so many women. So we do have some questions here. So before we go over to the next amazing superwoman, do you want to? I know you don't have much time, so we want to make sure that we can pick your brain.
All right. We had, I feel like I should be an expert. Do I have to have an impact? Can I have an impact by taking others people's content that interests me and my niche and reviewing it or rewriting it as my own, as Laura asked? And I'm going to say this is what has gotten my stuff ranked and what has gotten people talking about it, because yes, I refer to a lot of experts, and I think it's very powerful to make sure you do recognize that this is the information where you got it from. I always say, I got it from these books, I got it from this website, and reference that on your blog, and it receives another powerful link. Then you can go out and Twitter them, say, hey, I talked about you on my blog. I really love the good content. This is what really lets your stuff go viral and getting in front of their audience. And it's kind of another way to get your way to start that guest blogging type of attitude or idea, because you're doing the research for them. And so I encourage you to do that and say you are an expert because you did the research for them, and make sure that you reference them, because I've seen my team member that blatant copied someone else's stuff, and that person whose stuff that was just like went off on them. And I don't blame her, because she was not recognized at all in that. And so I am kind of in the same position. Anything like even social media, like I didn't recognize the model that was out there, I need to go back and put the model's name. Y'all probably don't know the famous model that I was using in the picture. So there's so many different ways. Recognize a person, where the content went from, and make sure that you do say that because you found their content, you love their stuff, and you want to talk about them. And we each should do that for each one of us. And the Superwomen group, we should talk about each other. And that's what really gets more of our stuff go viral. We should talk about the name. And I think in the team building formula, David Wood does go over this measure. When you get people talking about you, that's when you like start becoming famous, right? Where more people are talking about you. So make sure you do that, because you are an expert. You're researching that kind of stuff. And then she also asked, where is the line between rewriting and plagiarism of online content? I think when you can, I try not to read or copy a whole lot of their stuff. I try to do like a quote or something that was really specific. Sometimes I have taken this whole big old section and just kind of quote around it, or say this is where you can find it as well, because it is a huge section that you think is really relevant, but also make sure that you reference where that content is found. So I have copied a whole lot of stuff, and I can list several blog posts that I've done on my main blog that has gotten some major traffic because of that, because I've copied that. And same thing like Bible verses and stuff. I even reference, this is the link that I got, I copied the the exact Bible verse, even stuff like that. It's a book, it's reference and stuff on there. So try to do as little as you can, but I know I've done a whole lot of content to help fill out that 2,000 words if I really wanted to, and kind of helps out in that respect as well. So make sure that you just do reference the link and where it's found, and I think that will qualify that.
Yeah, actually, I borrowed an infograph from Neil Patel's blog, Quicksprout, and then I transcribed it and put it all into words. So, like you said, that really helped out with the 2,000 word count. And then reference back, gave him a backlink to that post, and I'll let everybody know where that came from, and that has been like a huge traffic source for me, and everybody loves the infograph, and he's happy because he's getting a backlink with his keywords back to his awesome blog, which is like totally value packed. So why wouldn't I send people there to learn from him, right? So you have to have that abundance mindset when you are sharing other people's stuff and not just putting your own name to it. So definitely acknowledgement. And that kind of goes, we had another question from Linda about why the 2,000 word content is really necessary. What do you think, Alicia?
2,000 words gives a good enough bulk for the search engines to read. They say do a keyword every 100 words or so, so that gives a good 20 keywords for you to kind of work with, even if it's your main keyword. And plus, like you get a little green light in your SEO when you have more words. You don't have to have them on each blog post that you do. I think we all kind of set a goal, maybe 1 a week or 2 a month. Kind of set your own goal of what you can do. I know Layla here can pump it out every day, probably, if you want to. But set your own type of goal, because it just gets ranked more. If you're going to do a regular blog post just to share your thoughts, it's good to get a good 500. I've gotten leads off blog posts that are less than 200 words. So, I mean, it really kind of shocks me. I'm going, dang, that was like my first post I did like 6-7 years ago, and I can't believe I got a lead back on that one. And so it really kind of shocks you on what inspires kind of people to take action on the next thing. So whatever your call to action, make it strong enough. Of course, that person was probably from China, no, I'm kidding. But make sure that the 2,000 words is what Neil Patel suggests. It ranks in the search engines. You can really get some good, more sharing content from that different place. It just ranks a lot higher, kind of a more meatier post that you can get on there. More things you can do with it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you think of your blog kind of as a house or a table, and so these really value-packed 2,000 word SEO rich blog posts, these are like the top of your table. And then if you have shorter blog posts, you can still be using those to build up the legs of that table, and to do a backlink with some keywords, do a hyperlink in your text. All these kind of things will just solidify those big posts. So they don't all have to be 2,000 words, because the little ones, they do serve their purpose as well.
Yeah, I'd also add, if you're making a 2,000 word post, have the 500 word post that reference to that one. Have small ones that can reference into the big one. I always have that. Like if I was doing a big review, I would go and insert, the one where you make commissions, the one where you make different topics that relate to that big post too. And that does a lot of really good SEO work. They're going to other parts of your blog, and they always say reference other parts. So you might want to put those 2,000 words on a page and then have those 500 words referenced to that page and stuff like that too, to help get people to see your blog and other areas that you've also referenced inside the post.
The term is actually anchor post. I don't know if you guys said that, but that's what it's called.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to the questions. I do have some that I want. Candace, I'm going to send one to you because I want you to answer this one from Trisha Lee. I thought Trisha Lee was coming on here. Where did she go? But I do want to hear from Steph and Shirley, who just recently completed their well-formed outcome, one of the assignments in the first week of the boot camp, and I think one of the most important assignments that really sets the stage for your entire experience. So come on out here, Shirley. I know you were stoked to be on the Hangout, and we're stoked that you're here. So tell us a little bit about you and your experience in the well-formed outcome. Were you partners with Janie?
Yes, I'm a partner with Janie and also Emily LaGrange.
Awesome.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Shirley May. This is my first time on the Hangout, Superwoman Hangout. So excited to be here, and I just got to say, the breakthrough that I've had from doing this well-formed outcome, I feel like I've been kind of leading into this breakthrough all week, and it started, I think Tuesday night was when we had our company hangout, and I asked, Chris Rushlow was doing an amazing segment on storytelling, and I asked him a question, and the question was, when, I have to try to remember it now, when you're trying to be real, why does it sometimes come out fake? And what is it that's keeping people from having a breakthrough? And he got really excited about the question, and I felt like he was really speaking to me. And what he said was, there is no try, because being real is being. There's no trying. And I'll tell you in a bit why that just broke me, because I had been, trying to figure this thing out and feeling so fake, and here he was and just shattered everything for me in just one sentence. And where I came from an Amish background, and so trying to fit into this world was like looking around at everyone else, and how can I blend in, and how can I be like everyone. And I had been approaching this the whole wrong way. I had been trying. And so again, in the well-formed outcome today, when we talked about what we really want, how we really want our goals to feel, it suddenly felt like I was done projecting my goals into this future me, who was this perfect English girl, who was skinny, who was successful, and I had finally stepped into the powerful me that I am right now, and it just, I can't put it into words. It's just a transformational experience when you step into who you are right now, and that's kind of where I could go on about my other little breakthroughs, but I'm just going to close with that.
That is quite the story, you know, and it really does solidify how, you know, how different we all are. You know, we may all come from different backgrounds and different pasts and different experiences, and you know, yours is the first that I've heard on that regards, and I'm really certain though that it doesn't matter, that there's people out there, maybe they're not Amish, but they felt that before, you know, and it blows me away how we can all have these breakthroughs and feel the same things, even though we're going through different experiences. Candace, I put in the chat the question from Trisha Lee. Sorry, Baby B was having a real bit of a meltdown. Did you see it? Did you see that question there, Candace?
I did, and would you like me to read it out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. So Trisha Lee says, I would love some tips on how to share the stories of others in our own voice and being able to illustrate how the stories we tell are relevant to what our reader wants. So, you know, I learn from so many other people's stories, and the golden nuggets that they share, I incorporate it into my own story because, like, for instance, being on the Superwoman Bootcamp and actually being a coach has been a dream come true. It's nice to be here. And when I first started, I was super scared. And as I was listening to other people's story, especially Carol Butler Willis, she inspired me so much because her story was all about, you know, supporting her husband through this company and being his go-to assistant. And when she told her story, I was like, oh my God, that's me. And so I kind of utilized her story and saw it as a place to connect, because I saw how I could be the one that steps up with my husband and be a partner rather than just his assistant and take this journey on my own. So by gaining little nuggets of wisdom through other people's story, you can start telling it in your own voice and being able to share with people what their story has done for you. Because without Carol Butler Willis, I mean, I would not be here today, and I'm so grateful for her story. As far as how to illustrate stories that we tell that are relevant to what the reader wants, it goes back to the values I was talking about in the boot camp. You know, I failed to mention one of the other values, and that one is truth. And that one's a level 4. That one is all about good, bad, right, and wrong. It's having a strong pull to either way. And when you speak from maybe that level, you're saying more of your values are I don't know, right and left brain, and you're kind of sharing that. And then, or if your values level is 5, and again about goals, if you're sharing it that way, you're really speaking to the reader, because what happens is they are making decisions based on those values because they resonate with them too. And that's how they buy things, because if it's like it's all about success, and if they're all about success at that moment, then they're gonna read more into it. If they're all about truth and what's right and wrong or good and bad, they're going to read about it more. And so I highly recommend, again, listening, really learning about your value system. And the other one that what was a level 6, which is my way that I write out, which is all about manifestations, intentions, spirituality. When I write that way, I'm attracting that kind of niche of people that really like what I have to say, and so that way I'm not reaching. It's already how I talk. So I hope that helps, Trisha Lee.
Yeah, it definitely, you know, it's so, I love that you brought up Carol Butler Willis, because you're not the first person that's told me that about her story and how it inspired them. You know, they stepped up. You know, they weren't just sitting back as the assistant, and they really took ownership. And seeing you do that, you know, I can't imagine if you hadn't. You know, we would definitely be at a loss for sure. Now I want to go over to Steph, and I think Steph has a question too. But I want to hear your experience because you're Trisha Lee's partner, and Trisha Lee's awesome. We love her. Share a little bit about who you are and your experience with the well-formed outcome.
Okay. I'm Steph Marks. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. This is my first time. Thanks for letting me be here. I'm a little nervous, but you know, I'm willing to give it a try. It's interesting. We had a good conversation this afternoon, and Trisha Lee is just, I love her. We just had a great time together. I'm a writer, and you know, I think I've kind of had a little bit of a breakthrough on this call. This conversation here, because what I just realized, I've written for a long, long time, and I've always taken what I've written and sort of stashed it away, and just the very closest people to me have been the ones that have gotten to hear it. And a lot of my purpose in being on the planet is to raise awareness and to bring people together and instill the idea that we're all one. We're all in this together. And I think I just realized that for all these years, and there's a lot of them, that I've been hiding out, and with my blog and being here in this group, I just want to gain a little more courage and step out and actually come out from behind the rock and share. And we didn't really talk about that too much in the call, but I just realized that as we've been conversing here, just to come out and say, here I am, world. I know I mentioned in our conversation this afternoon, I know when I speak my truth, probably some people that I have known for a long time will, click the unfriend button, because I just go a different direction. But, I just have to be okay with that and be who I am and do what I'm here to do.
That's an awesome breakthrough. Really, it is. And when you don't need any more courage. You're out here right now sharing who you are. And the more that you do it, that is where the courage will come from. We think we have to sit and summon courage and, I will be brave. No, you do it, and it creates this braveness. Once it's done, once you hit publish, and it's out there on Facebook, and you've shared it with the Superwoman, and you put it in the syndication tribe, and you got ladies reading it and commenting on it, and the courage comes and it builds every single time, a little bit by a little bit. But that's definitely an awesome breakthrough. Now, did you have a question, or do you think that you got the answers that you needed?
I think I'm good.
Awesome. Okay, good. Let's. I think we have.
I'll finish one more before I go.
Yeah.
Do. Should we have our own domain or use the Empower Network generated one? Is the one from Kathy. And I want to share that it really doesn't matter what you want to do. You can use your own domain, or you can use Empower Network one. I would suggest if you have a local business that you're making your own business cards, that you're going to be telling people where to go, it would be easier for you to have your own domain to say, here, this is where you go to see my blog, and put your own domain in there. It really doesn't matter whether you're going to rank or not on those different aspects. So I just wanted to put that out there, make sure she knows.
Yeah, I think it was Neil Patel. Okay, here you go. Oh, someone's tired. It was Neil. Okay, we're gonna go to Lisa. Lisa, there's a question for you.
Unmute, Lisa.
Hi, guys. Sorry. I'm sorry, where were we? My phone is kind of blowing up for a second. Tell me what's going on. Sorry. So much going on today.
You said you wanted to answer Sahara's.
Breakthroughs and all sorts of stuff. What do you want me to talk about?
Yeah, share your breakthrough, because it was a big one.
Okay, I will. Okay, let me share my breakthrough first. So Kathy and I finally got together today. Not finally. I mean, we got together today, and we just rolled right into it. And I'll tell you, I'm only going to talk about my personal breakthrough. And I started to say how before we started this hangout just now, I was talking about it a little bit, and I was making the differentiation between doing a well-formed outcome that has a very broad spectrum. So in other words, you're really looking at maybe the bigger picture of your life or the bigger goals that you have, you know, and that trickles down when the onion layers are peeling back. It's a different kind of breakthrough than if you're honing in on one specific intention or one specific element. And I think that's what we did here. We really decided to focus this well-formed outcome on a very specific intention towards the blogging bootcamp. So that in itself had so much for me personally because of some different things. One being that I've actually had a ghost blogger helping me and working with me for the last quite a while because I absolutely hated blogging. And everybody kept telling me that you have to have a blog for your business and it has to be attached to your business and you have to have a blog. And I kept saying, I hate blogging. It's so annoying. All the little SEO stuff and loading and linking and just getting it right and adjusting it. It drove me mad. And then when our company switched over to the non-WordPress platform, it got worse. It got even worse for me. It was a nightmare, and I hated that platform. And I leaned on my blogger girl a lot more, and I honestly just fed her content, and she put it all together. But it wasn't my voice. It was more she took what she drew from knowing me all this time and all the content that I'd fed her, and it was very easy. Very easy. And I fell into this trap of not having a connection to my own words. And through the well-formed outcome today, we sussed out and okay, the fact is that she quit like a week and a half ago because of something else, but we kind of came to the realization that it was time for us to part ways because it had just gone on a while and you know, it was just time. And it was very serendipitous because it had started, because that happened right when the boot camp was gearing up and we were planning for it, and I had been working on the site, and then all of a sudden my blogger quit and I was like, whoa. And then, you know, switching over to Kalatu and setting up for the blogging bootcamp, the timing was just amazing. And so now, being a trainer in the bootcamp and a participant of the bootcamp, and coming into this is like a fresh slate for me, because it's not that I can't handle it, but it's now that I actually enjoy it and I really see the value in what it's doing for me and my brand. And so I've come like this full-on turnaround where now I not only wouldn't go out and look for another blogger girl because I want to take ownership of it so badly now, because I'm enjoying the platform, I'm enjoying the process, and I'm enjoying infusing my own richness into the actual blog posts instead of me seeing a post on my wall and going off and reading it because my girl did it for me and I don't even really know what she wrote today. And sure, like that took so much stress out of my life at the time, and that was what I valued, because I was really hating it and really stressed out and I didn't want to do it, and I really valued her helping me build up over 200 blog posts in the last, you know, couple years, and building this foundation out for me has just there's no words for the importance of that. But now I come at it with this base of all this information that I've already put out there and all of this content that I can shift over to the new blog, and I'm looking at it with new eyes. I'm looking at it as a business instead of a burden, and I'm looking at it as a creative platform instead of a thing that I just dread, and I'm looking at it as this wonderful way of self-expression, building my brand, being able to share being an artist with other artists and have them see how, you know, just having them see that this is a possible way to share your work and your tools and what you're doing. And so with the breakthrough with Kathy, really peeled away that that feeling of I'm actually home now. I can live in my own little blog house and not be afraid of it or annoyed or just feeling like it's not mine, and I can really take ownership of it. And that was a huge breakthrough. And then peeled away a little bit more and realized that the reasoning behind me needing to be part of that and being the person behind the blog is that then when I get the recognition for sharing, or people come around and say, wow, that really impacted me, that really affected me, that made me think, that was my breakthrough, then my job is done. My job is fulfilled, because part of my passion is inspiring other people and them being able to get something from what I can give. And if I'm not writing the post, then that doesn't really count, or does it? It's like fake. So there's just this whole flip around for me of like, it's me, and it's coming from the richness that I bring to it, and that importance is and the flowing of my creativity coming forth of so much more real and meaningful, and being able to own up to the fact that I want that recognition was also part of the breakthrough as being an artist, and just saying like, hey, you know, I kind of like people telling me that it looks great and that your artwork's cool, and wow, I love what you're doing, and Kathy was awesome, and she was like, yeah, you know, that's part of human nature. It's part of what we sort of crave, is this sort of acknowledgement for our you know, for what we're doing in life, and as a mom, I think you kind of get that feeling like, oh, you know, it's not about me. I don't want it to be about me. Take the light off of me. It's about the kids, and it's about what we're giving them. And then, you know, as things shift and the kids get older, and you're kind of looking at and saying, wow, you know, now it's kind of more about me, and I have the time to give, and I don't have a 2-year-old sitting on my lap anymore, and I, you know, and things are shifted, so it's really interesting to feel that moment in that breakthrough. So that was what happened. Pretty cool. And then I wanted to respond also to Sahara's question, so I'll dive right into that. So Sahara said, it's smushed in with Trisha Lee's. Lisa, what is the balance in personal share to content? And so that almost really speaks to exactly what I was just saying, which what you're doing when you're blogging, right, is you're sharing of you, but you're also bringing in information, and that's definitely what I try and do. I'll share about another artist or a site that's working for my online portfolio, which I'm actually drafting a blog about the different ways that you can share portfolios, or the different tools that I've been using to get my photography effects. Because I think people are interested in how I'm doing things, and not only what I'm doing. And if that helps Sahara, it's like, you're sharing what you're doing, but share how you're doing it, and share the process of it, and then other people are benefiting from that. And Sahara was also saying that she's having this sort of, you know, pull on being interested in what other people are sharing, and worrying about if they're going to be interested in what you're sharing, if I'm getting that out of the question. And you are on a journey, and we want to see that journey, and I think that you have to get out of that perception of what other people are going to think of me, and just because you view something one way doesn't mean that other people are going to view it that way. So it's hard, but I think you have to shed that feeling of what other people are thinking. And as an artist, I'm so used to just saying, hey man, this is my art, you know, you can tear it apart, you can not like it, I don't really care. You know, and so I already kind of have that advantage, but I think it's very common to feel apprehension about what you're putting out there, and is it effective, and does it matter? And I think that you have to just stop with that back of the head talk, and just go for it, put yourself out there, and see what comes back. Because But you're right in saying that there's a personal side, and then there's like the side of you teaching, or sharing a recipe, or showing a product or doing something that's less personal. But in a way, that's going to also bring people to the blog, and they'll look at other things and research about you some more. So it can come full circle in that way. And so I would keep the connection of the personal inside the blog, and maybe you don't have to do the blog post itself having all the elements. Maybe one post is about the cooking experience and what that brings to the world, and then another post can be about your personal journey and how the recipes and cooking have brought forth richness in your life. So there's a lot of angles, and I definitely deal with the same thing. There's a lot of angles that you can look at your creativity, and so therefore there will be other people looking at it in other ways. So I hope that helps, Sahara, just you trying to shed worrying about what other people think, and really just being true to your own voice, as now I've come to terms with doing. So there you go.
Good answer. Okay, let's. Sorry, we had a baby down here. Now she's. I don't know. So I wanted to bring in one of my accountability partners, Ellie, who didn't want to do the assignment, and I want her to share her experience that we did last night with our well-formed outcome.
Yeah, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I didn't tell anybody I didn't want to do the assignments. I just thought I'm going to be quiet and I'm not going to join any of them groups. Okay, and I'm just going to be the spectator because I'm busy. Now, that's not really untrue, but I mean, it's a little bit of an exaggeration, all right? So I'll be the spectator, and nobody's going to really know, and I'll just lay low here. And, you know, it's funny because so many people think I'm out there, and there is a big part of me that lays low. So I have this, I don't know, they call it, you're not an introvert, you're not an extrovert, you're some kind of I don't know what the hell it is. So whatever, doesn't matter, it's who I am. And here's why I ended up doing it. I don't think I even told you that, Layla. So I was planning on going on the boot camp. I'm around at that time. It was like, that's great. I'm on the boot camp, and Layla did that well-formed outcome with Trina. Now, I've done it by myself before, you know, but she's doing it with Trina, and they get to that part where they start drilling it down. And I just knew, oh, crap. I need to be doing this. I wasn't yet sure why. I just knew. And then I have to laugh, and, you know, this is how the universe works. So I did go over to the group, and I started looking, and I was like, oh, well, these people got their groups already. And I'm looking around, well, who needs somebody? And I get a message from Terry Nicholson that says, you want to be in the group with me and Layla? I'm like, oh, my God. I mean, you talk about the universe delivering, right? And so here we, and then boom, we jump on last night. Okay, we're doing this. We're doing assignment 1. We're doing assignment 2 because baby B stayed asleep. So so we knew we could get it all in, right? And you know, again, I mean, I've done this before, but only with myself. And I hit some points in here that I wasn't really aware of, and I would have told you, you know, we all think we know ourselves well, and I mean, I've been on this journey for a lot of years, but you find out there's always another layer. I don't even want to say layer as much as I want to say level, and I don't think that's bad. I think that's good, you know. And stuff started coming out of my mouth last night, you know, that I was a little like, whoa, you know, this thing about when I was a kid and who the hell do you think you are? And when I spurred it out, when they kept saying, okay, and so then what does that, you know, mean? And I was like, you know, you feel yourself, there's almost a frustration level, you know, of what does that mean? And that's that blockage where you're all talking about there's points like, ooh, I don't know. It's not even, I don't know if you don't want to expose it. There's like a fear of exposure. It's amazing, right? So, you know, when I went to that next level, I was, it's just spurred it out of, you know, this is who the hell I am. Besides this other stuff, there was this little Ellie inside still wanting to get her voice out. That was a big aha for me, because I thought she had gotten her voice out already, and she still has a lot to say. It cleared the air for me. So anybody that's afraid of that stuff, or, you know, not sure, and it's like, oh my God, I did myself a huge favor, you know, by, you know, saying, okay, I'll play. And I thought, I don't really want to play, but, you know, it was like, okay, I'll play. And there was a release. There's some kind of release that's happened today. You know, and I saw the same thing. I saw ahas from Terry. I saw ahas from Layla. You know, I'm thinking when they were talking about answering Sahara's question, it's like, oh, she needs to go to this well-formed outcome. Now I'm going to tell the whole world to do it. Okay? Because I think she'll get ahas in there. So it was a fabulous, fabulous experience. I'm really, really grateful that that I allowed myself to do that. That's what I'm really grateful for.
I'm grateful for that too, for sure. As my partner, you know, it was awesome to see. It definitely was. Now, before we go, we had one special guest. Don't get on, all the way from across the pond, who just finished this assignment, like literally less than an hour ago. So I want you to come out here, Emily, and share. Sorry, baby conundrums happening. Share your experience on the well-formed outcome.
Hi there, Leila. I'm just so thankful to be here. Just sneaking on quickly before you finish. I had a really amazing time with my two girls, Shirley and Jeannie. And the one big thing that I actually feel is that you were saying last night when we were on the first week of the boot camp, you were saying that you can't be a spectator. You have to actually get out there and you have to do the assignment. So I went there today and I did the assignment with, you know, with my true heart, and I just feel like a huge shift. So you can't, my advice to anybody who is watching or who wants to be in the boot camp really is you've got to do it. That's it. It's huge.
And it's so awesome because you guys are all in different countries, right?
Yep. It works really well because late at night my kids are definitely asleep, so it works really well for me. I don't care.
I know you're all about the 2 and the 3 in the morning hangouts.
Crazy time zones.
Awesome. Well, Lisa, I'm gonna pass it over to you to round the call out. Ladies, there is still time. Don't be a spectator. Get in on the boot camp before it's too late. Lisa, I'm gonna pass it to you and take care of this grumpy child.
You got it, Layla. We got it. So let's wrap this up by asking if anybody has any last kind of final words that they want to say, either regarding what you're doing with your blog, you know, and any breakthroughs that you might have had from the boot camp last the other day. There was some awesome feedback on the call today on the teleseminar about some of the breakthroughs that ladies had from that boot camp. So I'll tell you, if you're not on this boot camp, if you're not involved in this boot camp, this is what you're missing. You're missing breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. So anybody on the panel want to jump out and give a few last words?
Yeah, I want to say something. First of all, I've done boot camps before. Okay, it's not like I haven't, and I have to say, yesterday, I think it was the best of the best. It was amazing what went on there, and I'm not talking about the the assignments. I'm talking about the boot camp itself. It was amazing information. But I want to especially talk to people that are brandy new. If some of this stuff sounds techy, some of us are a little techy. Chill out. Just damn stop blogging. okay? And let this group, all right, and the people in your group help you along. Don't get freaked out. I got to be perfect. The design got to be perfect. I got to be techie perfect. Just blog. You'll get all that other stuff. You'll find your voice. It will work. And especially because of this group. That's what I absolutely. Thank you.
No, it's true. It's so true, you know. And then the thing is, too, is that, like I was saying, I was so not into the techie part. And I'm pretty techie. Like, I can figure stuff out. But it's a level of commitment and almost, I was going to say it's a level of frustration that you're willing to take on. And it's kind of true. I mean, you have to step through a place that's from, I can't do it, I will never get this done, I won't ever understand it, and you need to step through the doorway to, I can do this, I can do this. And when you're surrounded by these kinds of women that all are going through things similarly, whether they're on the same level, it doesn't matter. We're all in it together. So there's that feeling of support and community like no other. And if you didn't listen to the call today, it's recorded, it's downloaded. We can tell you where to find it if you need help. But that call today, I think, was one of the best teleseminar calls we've had. And I'll tell you why. It was because we heard the breakthroughs. We heard the tones in people's voices when they were talking about moments in the boot camp. And personally, I was thrilled to hear people had been impacted by what I shared, because to me, understanding what motivates you and understanding what inspires you is what I do every day. It's part of my life, being motivated and knowing I can do things and being inspired by things, and they're different but they're connected, and I'm really glad that you guys got the differentiation, and you're able to sort of reflect back on your own life how that matters in terms of blogging, you know, and doing your business. And so it's great. It's just so impactful both ways. We love impacting you guys, and we love hearing the breakthroughs and the impacts that we're having on you. So I'm just really just excited for everybody that we're on this journey together, and that everybody is getting so much out of it so early. And this is going to be shared, you know, over and over again. So you guys are really, you know, creating really amazing things for other people, whether you realize it or not. This is going to impact ladies. We don't even know how many. It could be forever. So I love you all so much, and we have to get Layla to take this off recording. So hopefully she'll come back, because we know that Lisa could just go on talking forever. It's true.
I think she wanted you to close the hangout, Lisa. But if I can say just a little something before we go,
Yes.
I would say that what I realized today, it's when we did the 5-time, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for you? The answer at the end is often like, what would that mean for you when it happened? But the response is actually like, today I can be like that. It's not only when I achieve that goal. I think that already today we are like that. It's just that we didn't realize it yet.
Totally. You're totally poignant and absolutely right, Janie, because it's like when you realize it, it's like it's going on. It's like it's happening, right? Is that kind of what you're saying? Like,
yeah, like we can impact the people today already. Like we don't have to achieve that goal to impact people already or inspire people. And like if it's like a personal thing that I am stronger, I will be stronger when I achieve my goal. I think that today you're already strong.
yeah, it's true. It's true. Like I think that you know, like Steph was saying, you know, she's been hiding, and you've been, you know, hesitant to share, but because you weren't in the right arena and you weren't supported in the right way. Does that sound right, Steph? You're, you know, come on out maybe and say something. Yeah, just because, you know, you're feeling supported and you're feeling loved, and that there's no risk involved. I know that helps for the certain steps that you have to take it beyond the safety of our group and our community. And
Right.
yeah, right. And I mean,
Well,
that happened. Yeah,
this
go
group
ahead.
is so. This group is so supportive. I mean, I've kind of been lurking on the Superwomen calls for several weeks now, and haven't really had a whole lot to say. But I decided I wanted to be a part of the boot camp. I have found so much support, and I mean, y'all hardly know me, but and you know, you don't get that everywhere. And I know if I have a question, all I have to do is pose it, and someone's going to jump in and say, "This is how you do it." So you don't get that everywhere, and it just you know, if I put a post out, I know somebody's going to, you know, support me in that. There's no fear. There's no fear. All you have to do is just step up and put it out there.
That's super powerful, because it's really a testimony to the power of this group and the power of what a community can do together. You know, we're no joke, and we're seriously not going anywhere. So if you found this hangout and you're wondering what it's all about, please get back to one of the ladies on this panel, or check out the link and take it to where you can find us on Facebook at Superwomen Connection. And we are here to support and empower you through your blogging, through your life, through your family, and just be there for you no matter what. And it's really been powerful for all of us. So let's call it right here. It's like been exactly an hour, and I know Layla's just right on the other side, ready to end it. And I think we can call this puppy a wrap.